Welcome back to Sink the Bismarck with me, Wolf 190D. So, on the last episode, we finally managed to conquer all of the British Isles. And then Ireland did this really weird thing where it was like rebelling as we were invading, so it kind of shuttled off one of our ships over to somewhere else. Not entirely sure why. Speaking of which, okay. And we are going to relocate the Roy there. So, yeah, I think that was it for this turn. So let's go on to the politics. We want to poke. We want to poke France. We want to keep poking France. We want to go to war with France and see if we can't capture the rest of Europe over here. At least on this side. I'm going to leave Spain alone for now, I think. And our naval invasion in Sierra Leone is going off without a hitch. We're also going to take southern Rhodesia, taking over Zimbabwe. And I don't know, should we move over to British Somaliland? I mean, if the British don't want to declare, if they don't want to declare peace, then they don't want to declare peace. Now, the question, of course, is going to become, what do we do with the rest of the British Empire? Do we just take the British completely? I mean, if they want to keep this war going, should we just keep on taking their provinces? I mean, technically, I could send one fleet over to the Caribbean and put him under complete lockdown over there. What was our time at? About okay. France is building new cruisers and heavy cruisers and light cruisers. Okay, Dreadnought improvements number 2. Sweden wants a Helgoland class battleship, and no, I'm not going to build that. Okay, so we've captured Sierra Leone, which it's on this little pocket around a bunch of French colonial interests, which, okay, we can actually capture those relatively quickly, except for French Sudan. We have a fleet in the Western Mediterranean now, and that is our upgraded Prince Regent Luitpold class ships. You'll remember they were in the like a polygonal type of outfit, and now they have 2 pairs of superimposed firing turrets there. Okay, now we go here. Scattergun has been repaired. We can move him back out here with the destroyers, and these destroyers are, I think they're good. They're good to go. Okay. And this fleet, we have, okay. Let's move. Move you guys to Cork. Okay, we've got our fleets under control. One of our new Saxony class heavy cruisers is ready to rock and roll. So let's go ahead and add another one to the assembly line here. We'll launch him in Emden. or her rather. We'll launch her in Emden. Two more Magdeburgs. Okay, that's the Magdeburg. That's the lead ship of the class. Okay, we can probably hold off on building more of those for the time being. Okay, so they are commissioning. Saxony also is commissioning. And then let's take the Königsberg. Down to Gibraltar. And we'll take the Nymph from here. Where do we want to move this ship? I'll just send her on off to on the Aria. Okay, the old V1s, the last two remaining V1s. Gonna go ahead and mothball them too. Got another month for all of those to show up. There's Port Sudan. Okay. Send a pair of those destroyers out there. Okay, now we've gotten that. So let's go to our ship design. We're gonna do one last update on the Kaiser and Augustas here. And here's the real question. What can we do with this guy? Let's go ahead for a refit. Go for refit. Okay, we're gonna max out the length of barrel on those 105s. Let's max out the length of barrel on the 47s and the 88s. Now the question becomes, what do we want to do with those 6 sevens? 11, 12. Okay. I mean, they're all Mark II guns, so let's see what we get if we put 7 5s. 10 to 11. The accuracy is really not great, is it? Multiple expansion 2. Induced draft boilers with hydraulic steering. We've got ultra big funnels on there. Or do we just bump them up to 8s or 9s even? I mean, the 9s are Mark IIIs, but do I want to go with 9s? Those are probably a little heavy. Oh, wait a second. Yeah. Might help if I put everything else equal. So, we get 11 to 13. We get 7 sevens. We get 12 to 13. He's rocking heavy shells right now, but does he need heavy shells? Can we bump that down to standards? And they're also capped. Good lord. Let's go back to semi-ballistics. With Dunite. We get 6 inches of penetration at 5 kilometers. And what's the rate of fire? 1.5 versus 1 3/4. I don't know. I almost want to go up to 12 12. Let's put him at 6 or 7 sevens. Those I think will work well enough. So let's put 7 sevens. We'll go with coincidence number 2 with advanced radios, enhanced reloading, advanced hydraulic turrets, or do we want to go to electro-hydraulic? Let's go electro-hydraulic. We're going to go with ballistite. Wow. Let's upgrade him to Krupp armor with barbette number 3, anti-torp protection number 1, double bottom, anti-flood number 2, and we'll also give him a citadel. We'll give him a 1/2 inch on the inner deck. And here's a question of, or a matter of curiosity. Can we put, no, we cannot put. Okay, so 3.5s, we gotta have single barrels up front. what happens if we bump him up to turbine engines? Can we come back down to natural boilers? No, they'd have to stay induced. So let's keep him at multiple expansion. Operational range, however, we can bump that all the way up. So some guns have poor sector fire. Where? Who? Or Dunite gives penetration bonus, right? Yeah. Dunite gives that penetration bonus. Those are semi-ballistic shells, which means that they're going to hit pretty damn hard. Coincidence 2. And then we can just use these as sort of zone control ships to sort of supplement what we already have. Go 1 inch on top. 7.7s, we're going to go 2 inches on top. Let's see. Wow. Let's go back to 9 inches, and what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to reduce that just a little bit. Okay. Because we have no barbette armor, I'd like to put as much as I can on it. Okay. Half an inch on the deck, on the forward deck. That's it's getting kind of thin. But let's go ahead and put these auxiliary diesels in here if we can. Since these are going to become fleet or zone control ships. Yeah. Okay. That might get us another 5 to 10 years of usability out of these particular ships. I mean, with 7.7s, they'll still be lethal. Now, what we might have to do is upgrade to some better armor piercing shells, like maybe go back to capped ultimately. But there you have it. All right. All right, let's go ahead and save that. And then the Kaiser and Augustus that we have left, we can go ahead and start to refit as we cycle out with the new Saxonies. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and hit that next turn. I mean, I can sign a peace treaty if they want to do that, but the last time I tried to say agree, there we go. We got another Hannibal class. What a friggin' drag. Excuse me. Really don't think we're going to see much in the way of. I don't think we're going to see much in the way of a challenge for these Helgolands because these guys got 12-inch guns. Granted, they're Mark IIs, I think, and we now have Mark IIIs. So if we ever decide to refit them, uh, now an interesting thing we might be able to do with these guys, though I kind of doubt it given the length of the ship, would be to position them in a way to have two super firing pairs and then another one mounted dead center here. It might work out that way, it might not. So, anyway, let's go find out which way his ships are, and we'll go ahead and position our ships for the attack. Do. Oof. The torpedoes are shift. Okay. Are we going to tag him with at least one of these? Nope, he's gonna sidle off on the side there. However, we've got the heavy cruiser with one of them. What we got for him, Johnny? Okay. Approaching target, 2 kilometers out. Let's go ahead and open these tubes up. And they're away. Well, we got them with one of them. It's the important thing. I wonder if they're going to include anytime soon, if they're going to incorporate the idea of rolling over on the ship. That would certainly force you to make more balanced ships. Not to mention the dangers of flooding on one side of the vessel itself. Okay, here we go. Setting up our attack run. Geez, I feel like the Rebel Alliance there in Star Wars right now. Oh wow, one of them veered way off. We're gonna get 2 of them at least though. Boom. Okay. Oh wow. Big 12-inch guns just pounding holes all the way through that poor cruiser. That poor little guy. Now look at that. Hit that rocked the ship, but it didn't. Go ahead and hold fire on the main battery. All right. Oh wow! Don't you just love old? Don't you just love the old cartoons? Oh wow, that's from Judge Magazine. I had a copy of that from like 1925 or something like that. That was they were known for crap like this. I mean, come on, come on, come on. Persia wants to buy the V20 and Syria wants to buy the V19. Okay. Yeah, we can accommodate you guys there. That's fine. Kaiser and Augusta, no. Nymph. Ah, yes. Nymph needs to be refit. Okay, and then the Siegfried, we got another Siegfried that can be refit. Finances, okay. Fleet. Um, 4 months on that one. That one's at sea right now. That one's going to Tsingtao actually. So I'm actually going to have a heavy fleet, a heavier fleet anyway. Okay, so we've got one of our Saxonies at Emden. And actually, that ship can go to this fleet. That'll give him a full complement. Deutschland has 1 more month. The Roy has 5 months. Okay. And there again, nobody's going to buy these. So let's go ahead and start scrapping the Zeringen class. They have served us well. Okay. Means we can bring these guys up to Nokjat. No. Oh my god. You know what? I'm not even going to try pronouncing that one anymore. I'm probably going to wind up ticking somebody off anyway. Butchering the enunciation. It's a Princess Wilhelm there, so... that's a Magdeburg. That, however, is not a Magdeburg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and post the cone over there. And we're going to send the other Magdeburg here down into the West Indian Ocean. Because that Princess Wilhelm does need to skedaddle. Alright, so speaking of our heavy cruisers, we have 3 Kaiser and Augustus. We got one in the Mediterranean. And what we can do with him for now, actually, or her rather. God, why do I keep doing that? Shame on me. Nautical language dictates that it's a she. Boats are always she's. Don't know why. Okay. Does anybody know why? Why that's why it's always a she? The Mark 3 and the 5-inch variety should be coming up next. If it's not the 5, it'll be the 6, I think. Uh-oh. Cordite is coming up. The British liked their cordite. If I remember correctly, they were big fans of the cordite propellant. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hit that next turn, and I'll be right back, gang. Huh. We say end the war, and it doesn't. I don't. You know, it's one of the things about that mechanic that I just don't get. Syria wants a pair of the 73s. We can do that. Okay. Qatar has been conquered by the British. Persia. Didn't I sell the V19 and the V20 last turn? Like literally last turn. Naval invasion. Let's go ahead and take Mauritania as well. Okay, the Deutschland should be done. Yes, she is. She is ready to rock and roll. Okay. And the fleet here is starting to get filled out rather nicely. We've got a Magdeburg and the new Saxony class heavy cruisers that are joining them with those 9.4-inch guns, which are pretty much they're pretty much a smaller, a lighter version of the original dreadnought, pre-dreadnought battleships of that design. Let's see here. I think I should have 2 more. Do I have 2 more Magdeburgs building? Yes, I do. Okay. In 6 months. Alright, so the question then becomes, where do I want to send the Admiral Graf Spee? I think where I am going to send him is down here. Because this fleet apparently has no heavy cruiser anyway. All right. Now, while that's doing that, I'm going to also move. No, can't do it with this one. Um. Okay. That takes care of that Kaiser and Augusta. And both of the other ones are in the central Atlantic. Okay, and then the decile. We're going to go ahead and strip the decile. And we'll scrap it. Now I got 5 months, 7 months, and 12 months on more of these Saxonies. Do I want to build one more? Oh, actually, that was a good move. I had forgotten. I took the ship out of that fleet and sent them down. Sent her to Gibraltar to get a refit. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and launch an invasion of Mauritania. Okay. We've got a bunch of V-73s also to refit. Some of those should actually be in Pilau, right? Mm-hmm. The other ones are in Tsingtao. Mm-hmm. Which means soon these old V-21s will be packing up. Those are 45s. Speaking of my 45s, we got the Stralsund, which is another one of the Magdeburgs. Okay. Okay. Beginning a naval invasion in Britain, or in Mauritania. Doop doop boop boo. And looks like Britain's head of admiralty has been replaced again with David Balfour. Oh, I wonder if he had anything to do with the Balfour Agreement. Five transports on that one. That was nice. 5 75 millimeter guns. Let's just join up with the division, shall we? Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yep, she got a little beat up, didn't she? Okay. Poor torpedo boat. It's rather good for Ding Ruchang. South Pacific and the Indian Ocean is where we're losing some troops. Well, was it the West Indian Ocean? Probably the West Indian Ocean. Yeah, he's got some other ships piping through there now. Let's see here. Oh well, you know what? No, let's not do that right now. see what we got here. Ariadne, we got another Ariadne we can go ahead and refit. Kaiser and Augusta. This one, however, is this one done? No, it's got 2 months left. Okay. 3 months. And this actually works out pretty well, I guess, on these particular ships. Deutschland versus those guys. Let's bring him back to New Haven. Oh, that does remind me. What am I doing? When your light cruisers are supposed to be set for port defense, be sure you put them on defend. Otherwise, they have a really bad habit, a really bad tendency of wanting to basically run out and attack things that get close enough to the port, which is not exactly what you want for your mine layers. Now let me see here. Lorengau, Herbertshof, Friedrich Wilhelmshaven. Okay, that does again. Once again, we want to provoke some hostilities with France. So the question then becomes, ultimately, is going to be, do we want? And this fleet actually is going to be a really good fleet to hold this area specifically down. Put this whole thing on lockdown over here. Yes. Put this whole area on lockdown. They're not fast, but they'll get the job done. Okay. What else do we have? What do we have coming up? We have a scattergun coming out in Tsingtao in 2 months. We've got 3 more Saxonies lined up. 2 of them in Emden, 1 of them also in Tsingtao. And then we've got Magdeburgs, I think. We've got 2 more Magdeburgs. We'll hold off on the Magdeburgs for now. They can be built pretty quickly. And then we have another set of destroyers coming up in 2 months. Now, Syria has ordered 5 more of those guys. Man, Syria really likes those destroyers, don't they? Yes, there was one other thing that we wanted to do. An 8,000 ton. Oh, the light cruiser hull number 4 is coming up. Now, The question is, do we want to build the Koenig class of battleship? Do we want to, or Kaisers rather? The Kaisers are the next ones. The Koenigs are the one that come after, and the Koenigs were, well, even larger. The 30.5 is 12-inch. Koenig kept a 12-inch gun armament. So let's go. We've got the Kaisers. Now, the Kaisers have proven difficult for me to do in the past. They've proven actually exceptionally difficult. And it might be, in large part, it might actually be because of what I have available. But I've tried to look it up, and it looks like see if we can't put one of these